Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is January 7th, 2025, and today we're going to discuss everything related to tomorrow's big match in the Spanish Super Cup as Barcelona will play the semi-final against Athletic Club de Bilbao. Also, Raphinha making some pretty controversial statements, and I'll tell you what he said and what I think about Coutinho's statements in regards to Dani Olmo and Pau Victor. We have a lot to discuss. So let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and we'll begin this video with the news that the team trained today in Saudi Arabia ahead of tomorrow's semi-final in the Spanish Super Cup against Athletic Club de Bilbao, where the winner will go on to face either Real Madrid or Mallorca in the final of the Spanish competition. Now look who was there on the training pitch with his team, no other than Marc Bernal, because as I reported before, Marc Bernal actually requested from the club to be able to travel with his team to Saudi Arabia, and the club approved it. So Marc Bernal there seen smiling on the training pitch, which I have to say, I was really happy to see this. You know, after all, Marc Bernal has been through a lot with his injury, with his surgery. You know, his whole season is done, so it's good to see him with his teammates smiling, happy. After all, mental state affects a lot recovery, so it's good to see Marc Bernal, you know, happy, smiling with his teammates, because I'm sure all that will actually reflect in his recovery, as it will help him, because plenty of studies have showed that your mental state, whatever mental state you're in, does help or hinder your recovery. Now, speaking of injuries, Athletic Club de Bilbao have confirmed that Nico Williams has suffered a bruise to his left ankle, and as such, he did not train today with Athletic Club de Bilbao. So that could be a boost for Barcelona, because it could mean that Nico Williams might not play tomorrow. Or even if he does play, it could mean that he might not be able, might not be, I can't even speak anymore. He might not be at 100%. So that's definitely, I don't want to say good news for Barcelona, because it's never good news when a player injures. You know, I never wish injuries upon any players. And in fact, I wish Nico Williams a speedy recovery. After tomorrow, please. But nonetheless, it's a boost for Barcelona, because of course Nico Williams is one of the most important players for Athletic Club de Bilbao. So to have him be absent, or to have him not be at his 100% will hopefully help us win tomorrow and advance to the final. Now, of course, as always, ahead of tomorrow's match, Hansi Flick did hold a press conference during which he confirmed that Lamine Yamal will be available tomorrow. So that's definitely good news for Barcelona. As we know, Lamine Yamal got injured after the Leganés match. He had an ankle injury. It was initially expected that he would miss the entire Spanish Super Cup. Then his recovery started going faster than initially anticipated. And then there was news about him making the final, but not so much the semifinal. But now it seems like he will actually be available tomorrow too. So it looks like the only match that Lamine Yamal has missed is the match against UD Barbastro, which of course there was no need for him, because it was a pretty much easy match for Barcelona. But Hansi Flick confirming that Lamine Yamal will be available for tomorrow's match. So definitely a huge boost for Barcelona. We'll see if he'll play. We'll see if he starts, or whether he comes off as a sub, or maybe he doesn't play at all. But just know that Lamine Yamal will be available. Now, Hansi Flick was asked about the whole saga with Dani Olmo and Pau Victor. He was asked, you know, whether that affects any future players from coming to Barcelona. And this is what the German had to say. I don't know. What I can say is that we know what the situation is and how big this club is. When you know that, you sign for sure. It's great to be able to work with people like that. So Hansi Flick pretty much staying away from trouble, saying, look, I don't know. It's a great club. If you hear that, you know, you could sign for them. I'm sure people are going to want to come, because after all, it's FC Barcelona. So Hansi Flick kind of trying to stay clear from drama, as you may, which is not something that Raphinha did in his statements, which we'll cover in a little bit. I'll tell you what those statements are and also what my opinion is. Now, Hansi Flick was asked whether the whole Pau Victor and Dani Olmo has affected the locker room, And this is what the German coach had to say. But before I tell you his statements, I want to remind you, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. All of this helps this channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure to hit the Goal Kits, Kitbag, or Fanatics. If you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure to bet us. All links are down below in the description. If you click on them, you get access to some pretty cool discounts and offers. Now let's get back to the news, and let's get back to Hansi Flick's statements in regards to whether the whole Pau Victor and Dani Olmo saga has affected the locker room. And this is what the German coach had to say. As I said before, it's not so easy for us not to have two very important players for us. They have improved a lot. Dani Olmo is an excellent player. Of course, we miss him. But we have to continue, of course. It's going to affect us, but this will give us the opportunity to be closer as a team. We have to show that we are a team. So Hansi Flick not hiding the fact that the whole Pau Victor and Dani Olmo thing has affected the locker room, and of course it would. You know, this is a very close-knit locker room, and to see two of their members not being able to play, engulfed in this whole drama that they have absolutely nothing to do with, of course it would affect the team. Hopefully it doesn't spill into the field tomorrow. And in fact, as Hansi Flick hopes, I hope so too, that it eventually becomes a fuel so this team can go out there and play as best as they can. And hopefully they could do it for their teammates, Dani Olmo and Pau Victor, and can get that very important victory and advance to the final. And hopefully we can take the whole cup all together. And now, Raphinha. Let's get to Raphinha, because his statements have caused a lot of controversy when he was asked whether the Dani Olmo and Pau Victor registration problems will affect future players from wanting to come to Barcelona. And this is what the Brazilian had to say. I don't like to lie. I think it can affect the future. If I was at another club, maybe I would think about it. But when I came here before signing, I knew the situation of the club, and I waited to be able to come here, and I don't regret anything. So Raphinha saying that, you know, the whole situation could make other players hesitate if they're, you know, at other clubs and seeing, do I really want to go to Barcelona? They can't even register their own players. Are they going to have a problem registering me? And this apparently has caused a lot of uproar on social media. People saying, oh, Raphinha's toxic. Raphinha blowing up the locker room, blah, blah, blah. Not at all. I think what Raphinha is doing is, it's pure fact. I mean, it's already happened. Nico Williams wanted to come to Barcelona, and he decided not to because he was afraid that Barcelona weren't going to be able to register him. So this has already happened before the Pau Victor and Dani Olmo debacle even happened. So if it already happened before this whole saga, can you imagine now after this whole saga? It's definitely going to make players question their decision to come to Barcelona. And the second reason I think Raphinha said this, I think he was really being a captain, because after all, he's just expressing what the locker room is going through, which I imagine, as Hansi Flick admitted, they're going through a lot. You know, they are not happy about the situation. So I think he's expressing the frustration of his teammates about the whole saga, as a captain should do. Captains should speak out about their teammates, and that's exactly what Raphinha is doing. So no, I don't think he's being toxic. I don't think he's blowing up the locker room. I think he's doing the right thing. He's acting like a captain, like he has been all season, and for that, I applaud Coutinho for being honest, expressing the frustration of his teammates. And again, he is not lying. If you were in any player's shoes, you too would think twice about coming to Barcelona, because after all, if they can't register their own players that they already have, how are they going to register you when you're still not at the club? Anyways, now an interesting video has emerged after the statements of Coutinho. I'll let you watch it and then we'll talk about it. Now, this video was taken during today's training after the statements that Raphinha said. There we see Raphinha coming on to the field of training. And of course, he heads over to Laporta to say hello. Hey, how you doing? All right, everything's good. I'm going to go back to training. And then Laporta's like, hold on a minute. I need to talk to you about something. And there is Laporta. I was like, wait a minute. Got some stuff to discuss. Conversation is going on. Looks like it's something serious. Look at his hand gesturing a little bit. His right hand, Laporta's right hand. He like taps him. He's like pointing down. Taps him again. You know, this doesn't seem like a conversation. We're like, oh, how was your day? What meal did you have? Oh, this weather is crazy, huh? And then he's like, all right, I'm going to go back to training. Now, we don't know what happened during that conversation. We don't know if Laporta was like, hey, man, great words. Or, hey, man, what the hell were you talking about? You're making us look bad. Or, hey, man, I promise you I'm going to get the Pau Victor Dani Olmo thing on, solved. We don't know exactly what happened. I'll let you draw your own conclusions. Let me know down below in the comment section. What do you think Laporta said to Raphinha? And of course, as I mentioned before, let me know what do you think about Raphinha's words down below in the comment section as well. Now, I do want to say something real quick before we finish this video, but whether you agree with Raphinha or not, I think he's brought up an important point. And that's that not only has this whole Dani Olmo and Pau Victor debacle damaged Barcelona financially because we had to sell club's assets at half price, but it's also damaged the reputation of Barcelona because just look at everything that's happening in the media, and I think that's a problem. And that's a problem because, as you know, we don't have money. The club is broke, and when you're broke, what can go good for you is your reputation, right? That's how we've been able to convince players like Raphinha himself, who had offers from many clubs but decided to come to Barcelona, is through reputation, right? By saying, hey, look, we might not be able to pay you as much as these other clubs, but we are FC Barcelona, so come. And it's worked on a lot of players. It's worked on Raphinha. It worked on Jules Koundé. He too had multiple offers. And on multiple other players. Frank Kessie, Christensen, all these players who had plenty of offers and then they decided to come to Barcelona. But if you lose your reputation and you already lost your money, what do we have left? That's something to think about. Something that Raphinha made me think about. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. I did upload another video a few moments ago. Make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. And as always, be scarce.